Just getting started or feeling stuck? Wherever you're at, the VO Dojo is here to help you take your voiceover career all the way. Get the training, support, and connection you need to guide you every step of the way from I don't know to working pro. You get a rock-solid foundation and all the tools you need for your sustained, successful voiceover career. Mindset, skill set, and real-world experience, all in a hands-on, hearts-in, supportive community. Join us at thevodojo.com.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the VO Dojo's Get to Know VO. This is the free monthly information call that we do on some subject that is designed to move you forward in your voiceover career. I'm Tish Hicks. I'm the Master Sensei of the VO Dojo here in Burbank, California. I am joined by Kelsey V, who is our facilitator for these calls and here to guide us. And today is a really cool, special day that we do once a year at the dojo because we are going to be talking about the Daniel Escobar Scholarship, which is something that we've been doing, let's see, Fabian, when was for the last 4 or 5 years? We have some of our awardees, some of the people who have been recipients of the scholarship here with us today. Fabian Cook Jr. was first. Tony is the current. And Anderson, it was a few years ago as well. And you got a partial scholarship, right? Yeah. So we'll be hearing from them. Wanted to, we'd love to hear where you guys are calling from and where you are on your journey, because everything that we do here is about how we do it together. So it's really important to have us all here together. So let me share a little bit about the story of the scholarship and the heart of the scholarship. And then we'll hear from Fabian and Tony and Anderson about their experience with the scholarship. We'll talk about what the program, the Mystery to Mastery program that the scholarship is for, and what the criteria, what we're looking for, and then we'll open it up to questions for everybody. But I'm so glad that you're all here. Sorry, I'm feeling a little flambally this morning. So the story of the Daniel Escobar Scholarship. Dojo is in its 5th year. And in its 3rd year, I realized that after doing You Should Do voiceover around the country, that I needed to create the Mystery to Mastery program. What do people really need? Because I was doing a weekend intensive introduction and going bye, see ya, good luck with that. And realizing that people didn't have what they actually need, mind, body, and spirit, to actually move forward with their voiceover career. So the Mystery to Mastery program was created. And my friend Daniel was part of that original launching class of what has become the full Mystery to Mastery class. Now Daniel and I went way back. We were part of a theater company called Open Fist, which is still around 30 years later, still thriving, brilliant community. So we did shows together and worked on theater together. At one point, early in my years of moving to Los Angeles, Daniel actually was my first life coach. He had moved into life coaching, so he introduced me to the concept of Abraham Hicks, no relation, but the whole idea of aligning yourself with that positive affirmations and things like that. And Daniel was one of the most fabulous actors, just able to go any place with wackiness, zaniness, and also cut to the chase drama. And did theater. Had some success on like a Disney show. He was on a Disney show, and was doing things all along, and all along was also dealing with major health problems. Yeah, Lizzie McGuire was the show that Daniel was on. Major health problems that he just kept on going on and through. Kidney problems and heart problems. At one point, he was teaching kids in the mountains at an art camp and fell off a cliff and broke both of his legs at the same time, and kept on going. So we lost touch for a while, and then he came back to the dojo, and he had never quite had voiceover as part of his diversified acting portfolio. So he was always hustling, doing all the jobs that you do to keep your acting career going while you have health problems. He just kept on going. I think even when he was doing Mystery to Mastery, he was also applying to like director grad programs at Yale and stuff like that. He was just literally unstoppable. And at the dojo, he had come through the Mystery to Mastery program and was doing really well. A lot of what we worked with Daniel was because he was so fabulous, and he'd come from the theater. We talked about his with Daniel. We installed a swirlometer. And so that was like how fabulous you can get. So I gave him this image of, on one end of the scale, there is a rococo throne with birds and flowers and berries and every twirl that there is. And on the other side is a shaker chair. The simplest, most beautiful, functional simplicity. So we were finding that way to bring all of those things into all of the parts of his voiceover. Back in the day, we did fight clubs in person. And Daniel did his demo. It was getting out in the world. People started calling me like, hey, who was that guy at the fight club? And I was like, that was Daniel. So it was like just everything about to happen. And we had a Christmas party, and Daniel wasn't there. And Daniel was never not at the party. So it was very strange. And what had happened was Daniel was at the hospital. His kidneys went down, and he had a heart attack, and he passed away. And sorry, not to be all muscular dystrophy thing about it, but it was at that moment early on in the dojo, I said, when this business is strong enough and ready, when we can, I want to create a scholarship to honor Daniel and everyone like Daniel that has a vision, a passion, and would benefit from having voiceover as a powerful part of everything that they bring to the party, that they have to give. So that they don't have to wait until they're 50 years old and then die. I was so mad and so sad and so like wanting to do something. So it took a little bit because building businesses takes a little bit. But it was a really powerful moment when we announced the first scholarship. And it's been an extraordinary huge part of each year now when we're able to announce it and then get to meet so many amazing people who apply for it and do everything that we can to support as many people as we can with scholarships. So that's the story of the Daniel Escobar Scholarship. You can look him up. and get a sense of who he was. Now, I want to make sure that everyone doesn't feel like, oh, well, I do not have any dread diseases. Shall I? shall I still shall I still apply? Yeah, because what we're looking for is the unstoppable spirit and the knowing that this is what you want to do and why you want to do it. And that's where anyone who has a successful voiceover career can attest to that hair on fire feeling of like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. So hopefully all of you who are on here have that hair on fire feeling and are already doing whatever you can do. So those are the things that we're looking for. And also people who have the spirit that Daniel also embodied. We came from a theater company together. He was always part of community. So what are you bringing? What are you bringing? What are you bringing to this community that you want? Why would you want to step into this community, and what are you bringing it? So it's really for everybody, and each of us have stuff that we persevere through, if it's extreme or more every day. So that's the scholarship intro. Let me introduce, or actually, let me have our scholarship recipients introduce themselves. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and where you are, and then so we get to meet all of you. And then why don't we have you all share a little bit where you're at in your journey and what the experience of applying for the scholarship was, what the experience of doing the scholarship was, and what you're up to today. So listen, have you introduce yourselves? Like, who are you? Where are you? What are you up to now? Fabian, why don't we start with you since you're OJ?
All right. My name is Fabian Cook Jr. I am the 2023 recipient of the Daniel Escobar Scholarship. Um, Proud to say that I am the first also as well. Um, I, man, it's been such a journey since that moment. Um, the scholarship afforded me so much that I'm doing right now, that I think about it on a daily basis. My goodness. I became
Mm-hmm.
after after going through the dojo, I got signed by 3 agencies, which was fantastic. I ended up participating in the Penguin Random House Narrator Mentorship the next year. Um, I've done 10 titles through Penguin. I've done 2 through Scholastic, and the next one coming up is through Mosaic. I'm on the roster of every single major publisher in the world, which is fantastic. I've just booked my first uh, SAG commercial for a major brand back in April. It was a really incredible campaign. When I'm able to tell you about it, I will. uh, but I don't think we're there yet. But it has been like an absolutely rewarding opportunity to be affiliated with this. And just for brevity, we'll when time comes, I'll be able to share the entire story of how it came about, and I'm really excited to do that.
Yeah. Cool. 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 Let's go. Let's go to Tony, who's in the process. Well, actually, let's go Anderson. Well, let's go Tony and then Anderson. Yeah, it's all good. Y'all have fantastic stories. So, um, yeah, and this is Tony's formidable voice, formerly Tony's enduring voice.
Yeah.
But, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, Tony.
So I'm Tony Parrish. I now go by Tony's formidable voice. But the kind of backstory, real quick, is that there's been so much stuff in life, especially leading up to 2020, that I really hit a hard realization that I have to figure out what I need from life And in order to get to that point, I have to be able to ask for it. So rule number one of the dojo is focus. Know what you want, ask for it, and people will give it to you if you allow. Um, I didn't even know that was a thing until I found out about the dojo, and I took that first step to ask. And then I realized, then everything else came after that. I had no idea what I needed out of life until I found voiceover. Um, I'm a family man, hardworking person. I grew up in a very difficult situation, and I learned to endure through that. And once I found voiceover, I realized that I didn't have to endure anymore. And Tish and I, we've kind of realized that, you can endure to a certain point, but then you have to choose to be formidable and move forward with
Mm.
what you're supposed to be doing and what you want to be doing, rather than just taking on everything and, you know, surviving it.
Mhm.
It's something that I can now take to my children and teach them and help them understand that there's way more to life than just enduring it and trying to survive it. And that gift alone is just so much. It means so much to me. Where I'm at right now is I'm still in the process, still working through the different levels. I actually just completed my first fight club with a major casting director. That was fantastic. Um, with with the dojo as a program, it really gives you the insight behind the glass in a studio session.
Mhm.
Actually, was able to book a pretty good deal with a well-known brand for a session. They reached out to me. They found me online, and when we booked the session and went through it, it was identical to everything we work on in the dojo. So my career before the dojo was, I think I kind of know what I'm doing. I see what some people are doing. Let me try that. Let me try that. Let me try that. Instead of actually knowing what they were doing and how they got there. So
Mhm.
the dojo program really gives you all of the insight that you need to actually be the professional that you want to be in this business. So I often just get speechless when I think about how much it means to me, and I
Mm.
couldn't be more thankful to the dojo and everybody involved. So
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's ironic that the result is speechlessness in a voiceover program, but we get it. We totally get it. And then Tony, I think the other thing that I've really noticed in getting to work with you and creating this space for you to step in and be here for yourself is that you spend so much of everything that you do taking care of your family and doing your other job, and that this place has afforded you a place to be your space to take care and get to know and grow you. And I've really watched you doing that in such a beautiful, powerful way that allows you then to show up for everybody else even stronger, but not at the expense of. So that's really cool. Excellent. Well, thank you. And let's hear from Anderson. Anderson is well, everybody here is just like, yeah, this is what we do. This is why we do it. But Anderson likes it so much at the dojo, he's part of our team now. He's one of our path guides and Discord monitor. What is that called? Monitor? No. Discord
Moderator, yeah.
moderator, said the old lady. Hi, old lady. Hi, old lady. Anderson, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Anderson Stinson III. As Tish has mentioned, I am part of the dojo team as a path guide, but also one of the recipients of a partial scholarship, so I was not one of the full awardees. But just to go a little bit into my story, I started doing voiceover as a senior in college. Specifically, when I got to college, I went there on a full ride for medicine, so wasn't even planning on being an actor at that point. But then I accidentally joined a sketch comedy group my freshman year and completely fell in love with the art of performance. especially. I'm an only child, and also being a pretty nerdy guy, I was pretty introverted and wasn't super social or talked to a lot of people. So it was the first time I felt like I had my own voice and place that I could express myself. And really, my senior year, as I got into voiceover, it was more because I already had experience in theater and film and just wanted another avenue of performance to explore. And so I remember back in 2021 was when I signed up for the VO Dojo's You Should Do Voiceover course. And it was a fantastic class. Learned so much about voiceover that I didn't even think existed. I went into voiceover, thinking, oh, I can do anime voices and cartoon characters and video games. And that is not at all where my life went at all. But that first year, using what I learned from that course, I ended up working with clients like Sony, Coca-Cola, worked on a lot of like independent projects, which were fantastic. But being a fresh college grad, it still wasn't like the most affordable lifestyle, most sustainable lifestyle. And so while trying to do my voiceover career and also still trying to do film and theater full time, I was also working 3 jobs. I was a editor for a production company. I was working in fast food. I was doing so many odd jobs, just trying to get everything to work. But still, staying up later, waking up really early to just get one audition in, to get two auditions in. And I still remember every single year, Tish was like, you're going to do the Mystery to Mastery program? You're going to do the Mystery to Mastery program? And every single time I was like, I want to, but I literally cannot afford it. And there were several times that I actually tried to start in the core program, which is a more foundational version of Mystery Mastery that is still really powerful, but still could not afford it. Just trying. I was also living out of the state, living in Boston at the time, so it was really expensive. So I just couldn't afford anything. But then fall 2023, early winter 2024, Tish calls me up again. Is like, hey, there's this fantastic opportunity you should look into, and essentially sharing my entire story of just like I want to do it all. I've been living on my own for this long. I've been doing all the opportunities that come my way. I've just had this workaholic, keep on going attitude, while at the same time still being there for the communities that I want to be a part of. I was going to the fight clubs, going to the get to know VOs, going to the Ask the Senseis, still talking to the people in various dojo circles. It was just something that I knew I wanted to do. And so finally, with the scholarship, it was a life-changing experience. Even before with the You Should Do Voiceover program, it helped me work with a lot of great, fantastic clients. But as soon as I started Mystery to Mastery, within 6 months, I was being scouted out by one of the top management companies in the U.S. For voiceover. And a lot of it was figuring out my branding, my marketing, my coaching, but also having a very deep understanding of networking, being an entrepreneur, and also not just wanting to do one single thing. I went into voiceover wanting to be a cartoon actor and ended up becoming a well-rounded performer that's capable of so much more. And so after getting signed with my manager, which I was able to do without any demos or anything like that, went on to get signed by another agent and then referred by 2 more agents. And so I have a whole team backing me up now. And something that has been really moving for me is that in fall of 2024 was when I went full-time, and it's been able to fund my entire life. And so I just moved to Dallas this past month, and that's because of voiceover, and that's because of the dojo. And saying that everything all right, Tish?
Let's see. Did everybody freeze or just me? Just me. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. So you got
yeah. So this upcoming September will be my second full-time year in VO, and I've been able to work on so many campaigns with so many studios, with so many fantastic clients. And so I truly think anyone can do voiceover. So the reason why I'm part of the dojo team now is last year, as I was having a lot of this success and I got to meet the dojo people for the first time at Voiceover Atlanta, I was like, hey, like, this was such a great experience. I want other people to experience this as well. And already you can hear from Fabian and Tony, it's also changed their lives. And so now it's just, I think everyone truly can do voiceover if they want it, if they truly love it. And so that's my story.
Yeah, it's a good one. Good story. I love part of Anderson's story too is that in terms of the work that he had done over the years by himself and moving forward by himself, I remember you saying, I've done as much as I can by myself, and I want to do this all the way. And where you were, you could have come into the middle of the Mystery to Mastery program, the Blue Belts, you know, putting your demos together place. But you said, no, I actually want to start at the beginning because I want to have all of the layers of the foundations. So it's really cool, really cool. Excellent, excellent. Fabian, we said we were going to circle to your origin story. I think we got a little bit of Tony and a little bit of Anderson's, but I think you also have like the journey that you've been on and the, you know, the things that you've come through and to. And I think also one of the things that I love about your story, Fabian, is that we were connected through another connection, another Open Fist member. So this is a theater company that I was a part of 30 plus years ago, guys. I moved in 1994. And the people that I know from there, the community that I have from there, have been impacting my life and other people's lives forever. But yeah, but talk a little bit about the beginning journey of your journey, Fabian, because I
Absolutely.
think it all ties in too.
Sure. This entire process for me, and I'm going to speak very candidly to you all, I was molded a lot by pain. And by pain, I mean like the really, really intense, terrible things that happen in life sort of pain. I lost my best friend to colon cancer. Um, that sort of set it off. It caused me to go into a bit of a health decline, a really bad health decline. When I was living here in LA, the same week I was in the hospital, I lost my agent. Um, Everything just sort of went downhill. I was homeless for 3 years. I was living in my car in the Bay Area because I had to leave LA for a while. And I know I put this sort of up as a background, but there wasn't too many moments where I was living up here in the Bay Area where I didn't want to throw myself off this bridge, and that's for real. Everything was just really, really poor in my life, and I was really not even living. I was really just existing day to day, and that sort of hardship does a lot to you. It hardens you. It makes you bitter. It makes you sad. It does all those things until the night of January 30th of 2022. I got hit by a drunk driver, and he blew 3 times over the limit, and he broke my leg up on impact. And as I was like strapped to this gurney, I was in Hayward, California. It was like 40 degrees. I thought about just how much I felt like God had spared my life for some purpose that I didn't even know. Because by all accounts, I should be dead. That's the truth. But he didn't see fit for that. So the next day, um, I got enough money to spend a couple of days in a hotel to recover at least a little bit, so that way I could sort of be all right. And my old acting teacher, Adam LeBeau, who Tish knows, put up a GoFundMe on his Instagram and started talking about my story a bit. And Tish comes along and says that she wanted to donate the You Should Do voiceover class to me to help me get my art back in hopes to help me heal. And he came and talked to me about this idea, and I was just like, man, voiceover, dude. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I haven't been in the game for like 4 years. I don't know if I can actually do it. I was like, but I'm going to give it a shot. And it was my first You Should Do voiceover class I did on the hospital table because that was my first checkup since that accident. So I had an iPad. I went and bought an iPad with the money, some of the money that I got from the GoFundMe, just all this for this class. And I fell in love with it. And actually, I was not on my game like the first two classes because I had to take a Motrin before both of them because the pain was just so intense. But I remember I said, look, I'm going to really, like, when I came to that third class, like, look, I'm going to have this thing like absolutely locked down. I'm going to do what I used to do when I used to do like equity work for Shakespeare and all that. And I just went deep into it, like really, really deep into it, and took notes and watched the videos and practiced and practiced and practiced. And I felt like this surge came, it just came back. You know what I mean? Like when you're in the zone. It's funny, like kind of like how I remember when Michael Jordan took all that time off for baseball, and then when it came back to basketball, it's like he found his flow like all over again, just from the standpoint of as an athlete, right? And it helped because at the same time that I was doing all this stuff for my leg for voiceover, I would sit and I would watch, and I watched Naruto for the first time. Like, it came out when I was a sophomore in high school, but I started watching Naruto like on Netflix because they had it, and you hear this like little blonde head ninja talking about he didn't have the skill, didn't have the jutsu, but he never gave up. He got his ninja way, and just he had all this energy that I was just like, man, I hope I can be this resilient. And then I just started adopting it. And I told Tish, I was like, look, when it came to the end of You Should Do Voiceover, I told her, I said, I got two goals. I want to do audiobooks and I want to do animation. And I've accomplished the first part. And the second part is slowly getting there. But, I told her, I said, look, I am willing to pay for this class. My leg is not up to snuff yet because I drive for Lyft. I was like, my leg is not up to snuff yet, but I'm going to get into the core classes. And then when I get healed some more, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get into this Mystery to Mastery program. And I'm doing physical therapy. My knee is at like a 40-degree bend. Optimal for human beings is 120. And so I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And Tish announces the scholarship. And I'm like, man, that'd be a good opportunity for me to actually, since I'm not there yet, this would be good to have as I heal. And I remember the night that I wrote my essay about just what I had been through. I remember how difficult it was to write it because, you know, I wanted to tell the truth, but I also didn't want to beleaguer them with some of the despair that I felt. But a part of me was also like, look, folks need to know the truth of what I went through. You know what I'm saying? So that way they know. You know what I mean? Like, one thing about your stories and all of our stories is if we spare details, I think we rob people of hope of how they can pull through it. And I think that's why I've stopped sort of censoring the stuff that has happened to me. You know what I mean? I think it's important for me to tell that truth of it. And then, we get a call that we're a finalist. And then after that, it was a really rainy Sunday that I was working in Orange County, and I started, figuring out ways to move down back to Southern California. And when I was told that I was the awardee for it, I tell you, man, I cried so many tears of joy. It was unreal. You know what I mean? It truly was a moment of, I thought about where I've been, from sleeping in cars for 3 years to crippled to not being able to walk to then being able to walk again and then having this scholarship. And I said that I would run completely through a brick wall if I got awarded it. And I did. I showed up every day, every single day. I showed up every single week. I did my audition conditioning. I showed up in every way that I could. I was also still homeless at the same time while I was doing the entire time of Mystery to Mastery. I did not get an apartment until November of 2023. Actually, the week that we took our black belt test was the week that I got my first apartment. And I tell you this, for this, it was trial, it was fire, it was, even nights where I was like, man, I hope I can get through this, but I'm resilient. I'm gonna do this work. I'm not gonna give up. All that Naruto stuff that I watched was just in my brain when I did physical therapy, in my brain when I was doing my audition condition, when I was doing deep dives, all of that. And it helped me so much. And the last thing that I will say is that it provided me a base of not just hope, but it set me on an entirely different place in my life, mindset wise, financially, all of these things. It did everything for me that I felt like it could have done. And the week that I did my demo, and this was significant, the week that I did my demo, I got hit by actually a second drunk driver. And he totaled my car. He broke my ribs. And Tish was helping me with my demo stuff. And I told her what happened. And she was like, "Do you need to take a break?" I said, "Absolutely not. We're going to get through this. I don't care if I have to gasp and breathe while I'm doing my demo." And the demo that I have right now is the same one that won me that campaign that I got back in April. And so if there's anything that I could ever tell you guys, it is resilience. It is pushing through. It is absolutely staring everything down in the face and going toe to toe with it, you know? So yeah, that's what I got.
Amazing. Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason you were the first one. That's good. And you know, Fabian, I think the other thing that both Anderson and Fabian said is that they started showing up. They showed up and they did what they could with what they had, and that's like those are things that we take into consideration in terms of the scholarship. Really? You want this? What are you doing? What are you doing with what you have? Are you showing up for the things that you have for free? Are you coming to what you can? Are you, you know, how can, yeah. So what are the things that you're doing? Are you making sure that that we know who you are and that we know that you're doing everything that you can to do this? Let's see that, because that's the chutzpah, that's the spark, that's the drive that you need to instill in yourself, and then we're here to grow. And then Fabian, I think also all of you guys and all of us here, there's so much about when you do join the dojo, you're not alone. Like we're just connected on the Zoom, but physically we're connected on the Zoom, but spiritually, like energetically, we're connected in our hearts. And then you're not alone doing all this stuff, right? That you're not carrying all the load yourself. So I think that also makes a big difference. Oh my gosh, guys, thank you so much. There are two other recipients that weren't able to join us. Frank Marshall, who came to us needing a heart transplant and was refused. And he's still dealing with health stuff, but he did the whole program and, you know, is doing what he can. So he wasn't able to join us today. And then Cricket Michelle is not feeling well today, but they also have been an amazing part of the journey. Hopefully we'll get them to share some stuff that we can share with you as well. Let me do a really brief overview of what the Mystery to Mastery program is and how it works. And then let's open it up to your questions, because I'll bet a lot of your questions is like, what is this? So the mission of the dojo is to align people with the power and possibility of their voice. That's it. So if you come to the dojo and you go through the program and you are aligned with the power and possibility of your voice, and you go and run for Senate or leave a disastrous relationship or do something else with your voice, we have success. You are aligned. Ideally, you'll do all of those things and have a successful voiceover career if that's the path that unfolds. But that's the bigger journey, the bigger mission that we're on. We are here to guide, support, connect, and accelerate from I don't know to working pro. We have our development division and our working pro division. So the development division starts with the You Should Do Voiceover Launchpad and Workout, a 1-month course that is 7 modules of training that you take in on your own, and we come together once a week and we explore them together. So you're responsible for taking it in, and then we get to explore it and experience it together. That's a lot how the dojo works. So Launchpad and Workout is designed to give you a comprehensive overview and a little taste of everywhere your voice can be making money, and really lay down the foundations of mind, body, spirit. Look what it really takes. We say it's always just you, but you never do it alone. So that's Launchpad and Workout. Now, Launchpad and Workout, You Should Do Voiceover, is the first of 5 belt levels that make up the Mystery to Mastery program. So Launchpad is white belt, opening your awareness. One of the things I say is that you'll never, if you decide you shouldn't do voiceover, which is totally valid, after you do your month of You Should Do Voiceover, that's totally cool with me. That's great, because now you know. If it is something that that you want to do, oh gosh, I just totally lost my thought. Anyway, something. So fun. Good job, Tish. Open your awareness. I was saying that one of the things we say about it is that you'll never be able to watch a commercial, a video game, an anime, a cartoon in the same way, or listen to an explainer in the same way ever again, because you're just going to have insights as to how it works and how to be thinking about it. Okay, so opening your awareness is white belt. Then the next belt level is yellow, which is about exploration. Here we've given you all these tools. We've opened up the world. Let's spend time at these parties we've touched at. Let's spend time at these parties. Let's take these tools. Let's explore how we use them. Let's just play and explore what is this realm of voiceover. Let's just play with no pressure on anything. Then green belt is self-exploration. What are you bringing to the party? And this becomes your demo preparation. Then blue belt is demo production. How are we going to take all this that we know about voiceover, all this that we know about ourselves, all this time that we've been working with consistency, continuity, connection, and community on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So by the time you get ready to do your demo, you are ready to do your demo and work beyond whatever you're doing on your demo. And that you're creating this product that you're going to bring to market. You know who you are, you know what you're bringing, you know what the market is, and what you have some semblance of what you're doing and why you're here and what you're bringing. Then brown belt is integration. So each of us in a totally different place, different locations in the country, in the world, in our lives, in our goals, in what our aspirations are. So everybody's going to be starting to integrate all the things that they've built into the working pro world in a different way. Because we're all different. Our voices serve different purposes. We're here for different reasons, right? That we are here to help you define that and then get set. So after you do your brown belt, you earn your black belt. Now you're ready. Now your work begins. And you cross the threshold into our working pro division, which is called the nth degree, like an nth degree black belt, right? So you've done all this, and now you just keep on expanding and deepening it. We switch from a full force curriculum. This is like, think of Mystery to Mastery as a 1-year master's program. And in terms of how much master's programs cost, it's kind of cheap. But think of it like that. It's professional training. When we talk about things that we're doing, we do not say do your homework. We say get your auditions in. This is professional training. It's not school. It's a professional training. And so when you cross the threshold into the working pro division, the work that we're doing together changes in how it's more professional community and support. So we're still here guiding and supporting each other, but it's a little bit different how the nth degree works. We have our twice a year nth degree catapult. Once you have everything is ready, then you put it in here and you go, whew, this is a 3-day weekend. Fabian, I think that's where you met Portia to sign with her at Coast to Coast, right? So when you're ready with everything, then let's launch it and let's have you decide how you're going to be building your business. And then the daily, weekly, monthly part of nth degree, we have weekly pro workouts. We have twice a month focus action forums, which are accountability mastermind groups. And then we have, Tony just talked about being at his first fight, or participating. You've been at a lot of fight clubs. You participated in your first fight club. So Fight Club is our working pro workout that we do 3 times a month. We bring together top-notch talent with the decision makers who hire us in all different genres. We call it a fiercely friendly face-off that turns the audition process transparent. And so from the very, and the cool thing about Fight Club is like it's part of our working pro division, and it is also one of the 7 elements of the Mystery to Mastery program. So when you're in Mystery to Mastery at yellow belt and green belt, you are a spectator at the fight clubs. And at blue belt and brown belt in the full program, you are participating. So this is working pro, but it's available to you from the very beginning of your working pro, of your professional training. So Mystery to Mastery, all of Mystery to Mastery, we focus on 7 areas. It's a very holistic approach. Sometimes we just go, I build my skills. Here's this. But we forget we need to do this, 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 and this. So there's 7 areas of mastery that we put together holistically into this program. First and foremost is mindset. Mindset is everything in this work, in this business. It's everything because it really requires you to have to be a warrior of the light, to know who you are, and to be able to step into the ring clearly every single day. It requires. So mindset, skill set, tools, techniques, frameworks of thinking, hands-on real-life experience, like Tony was saying. He was able to go into directed session, easily relaxed, because we work in the modalities that we are going to be delivering in every single week. We know it. Then technical. We have to at some point have a session ready booth. You don't need it at the beginning. You don't need it at the beginning. When you need it, we have a whole team of, we have a tech sensei who's here to guide you. So you do need to be responsible for it. And then there's an evolution of it. There's your vocal and physical instrument. Obviously, everybody here watched me do a little straw phonation because I sounded like I had been smoking a bunch of cigarettes this morning. So knowing how to take care of your voice, knowing how to use it, how to expand its range. The business. This is a business. It's a business. And we instill in you that you are an entrepreneur and this is a business from the very beginning. So that's really essential. And then most importantly, and this is the heart, the soul, the everything, the reason of the dojo, is community and connection. I've been in the business for over 30 years now, and I always talk about one of the things that's really, really different from when I started is that when I started, the game was you moved to a major market. I moved from Chicago 30 plus years ago, and you moved to a major market. You got your skills up to get to a major agency, and that's where the opportunity was. And that's how the game worked. And then you were around that little trout pond and you were there. So there was a bunch of people, but not that many people. And now it's really, and you saw each other every day. You drove to the agency. There was a booth. There's a booth and a booth director. So you saw all your colleagues. You saw somebody, people who are legendary, who are also sitting in the lobby, and people who are coming up just like you. You saw the receptionist, who years later would be agents, right? Ferenc from SBV. I knew him when he was working the desk at Abrams Artist years ago. You would see the business affairs person. You would see the assistants. You would see all the agents. You would work with the booth director. And you had this community every day. It was amazing. And now we have to do that all alone in a little box by ourselves. And people are expected to know this shit. And how do you do that? And how do you build and grow without each other? So that is really the heart of the dojo. Like, how do we create that feeling of being part of the lobby and being part of the professional community every day, week in, week out, giving you a place to be, to grow, while we're still under the conditions that we live. And here's my old lady. Back in my day, this is how it was, right? So that's the whole enchilada. That's the thing. This is the professional training that the dojo is, that the Mystery to Mastery program is. Let's open it up to questions. What questions do you guys have for me, for everyone here? What's on your minds? Ooh, the chat's been chatting. I haven't seen the chat. Kelsey, can you guide us? To the questions? Can you guide the question people?
Yes, I would love to walk people through the application process, if that's okay.
Oh yes, that's right. Oh yeah, it's a scholarship. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to take it away, Kels?
Okay. I'm gonna screen share here. Okay. So you're gonna pull up this lovely little number here, and I'm gonna put it in the chat for you guys. And this will tell you more about Daniel and who he was, and give you kind of a good glimpse into all of that. And then you're gonna press sign me up. Okay. And then you're gonna put in your first, last, don't ask what the V stands for, and then, by the way, if you do ever need to get into contact with me, that is my email. So you're going to press apply now. Whoop, and we're not going to look at my emails. Here we go. Okay, and it should take you to this form right here. So you're going to fill your name out, your phone number, your email address. And then you don't necessarily have to, if you've already taken the dojo or you feel like there's just somebody that you really want to nominate, it's definitely something we'll take into consideration if we see someone who has like multiple nominations. You can nominate someone, and then tell us how you found out about the scholarship. Well, obviously, probably here if you're here, but then you're going to tell us, what is your background? Why do you think you'd be great at voiceover? Why should we consider you? Somebody asked in the chat, like, do I have to like detail my medical, like if something horrible happened to me? And no, not at all. Like, you can be as open and tell us everything as you want, and you can be as private as you want, and that's not going to really play into whether or not you get chosen. We're really looking more for like who has the spirit, like Fabian, like Anderson, like Tony.
Yeah, you can,
like
if anybody, like the last 5 years for me have been like, wow, one dumpster fire after another. But if you just want to say, I had triple positive breast cancer and went through chemo surgery and radiation, and now, boom, like, that's cool. I don't want to know. I don't need to know all the details of how many treatments and stuff. I need to know what you know now because of that, who you are from that. But yeah, however you want to roll, whatever you want to share, however you want to share your story. Yeah.
And like I said, you don't have to have a medical condition or like anything like that to apply or to be eligible. Like, you know,
It's your
Anderson is one of our
your spirit of
solo enrollers. Yeah.
voiceover. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then you are going to submit a vouch link. So you're going to click on this link here.
Oh, actually, you're going to deliver because we don't submit at the dojo.
Yes, you're going to deliver your testimony here, like your own personal testimony, and it'll start up like a video, and it's going to ask you pretty much the same question. So you're just going to pretty much read what you wrote, or vice versa. You could transcribe what you said. But it's just, we just want to hear your story in your own words and see that passion. And then you're gonna record your message. You're gonna return here to this form, and you're gonna type "done" in the text box below. If you do not do this, it will not submit. It will not send in your application to us. So please.
Yeah, and you do need to do both. You do need to do both to be considered, and following instructions is one of the first things we'll be looking for. So, yeah, so be mindful and notice the details. Yeah.
And then also, I would love for Sarah to come up and talk about. Sarah is part of one of the people who does the selection process of the candidates.
Yeah, Sarah is our director of operations, our integrator, our our pillar of the dojo. But yeah, Sarah, would love to hear your perspective as the person who does the first rounds of the application process. So we have a first. Well, I'll let Sarah do it. Sarah, hi.
Hey everyone. So yes, the first thing I do is I listen to all of the vouches. It doesn't have to be on camera. You can have your camera off, but we do need to hear your voice because this is a voiceover scholarship. I don't have anything specific that I'm listening for, but I guess I'll tell you guys the story about Cricket Michelle, who is not here today. I have two little kids and I multitask. So I was listening to vouch videos one night while I was showering my older child, and my younger child was with me. And we listened to crickets. And my daughter was 4 at the time, and she says, "That's your winner, Mom." But at the time I heard crickets, I got chills also. So I don't know what I'm looking for, but when I hear it, I hear it. And it was similar with Tony, which is why we did have two winners last year, because Cricket was more advanced in their career than Tony was. So Tony got the full M2M scholarship and Cricket got an M2M into our nth program scholarship, which did not exist until we heard Cricket's application. So please follow the instructions. There's nothing specific that we are looking for. We just know when we know, and it's narrowing it down. And I can tell you, when I say I narrow it down, I still get Tish like 80 people that I make her listen to. So it's a really hard process because everyone is amazing. But the vouch is one of the most important things. But if there's just a vouch and not an application with it, I can't consider that. I listen to the whole lengths, Joshua. So I would say most of them are about 2 to 5 minutes, but I've had some ones be 13 minutes, and I did listen to the whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't think you need it to be that long.
We're busy people, and be succinct.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 5 minutes max is what we want to hear. Yeah, that's we'll get to know you as we go along. But whatever you need to say, see if you can distill it, which is also part of our process here. Like what all the things you need to say, how can you say it in the most succinct, impactful way? So yeah, 2 to 5 minutes, erring on the 2 side. Yeah.
Thank you guys. And I know Tish and Kelsey are here to take all of your questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions.
Good. Let's hop to it. We'll plan to be here till like about 11:30. We should be able to cover questions by then. And if you have other questions, or you want to find out more, or get to spend more time, get on my calendar, get on our calendars, get on Anderson's calendar, get on my calendar. Take the time to get to know us. We're here, and we'd like to get to know you. So, okay.
Also, if you don't want to wait until the scholarship, if you've never done our You Should Do voiceover course, we've got 2 more coming up before the scholarship winners are announced. So you can get a head start in it. You don't have to wait until the scholarship gets announced.
Right. And in fact, that is beneficial, because then we know, oh, they really understand this. They really get it. They really want this. And then if you are the recipient, then we'll refund that money, because we'll give you the scholarship. But yeah, but don't, if this is something you want, go now, go fast, go now. But yeah, let's do some questions. Kelsey.
Okay, amazing. I'm gonna have Kevin come up first, because he's been waiting patiently.
Excellent. Hey, Kevin.
Kevin, come on up, my friend.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going? What's your question?
So, there's something I want to say about that one before we get into the question. So why is Frank's not here today?
Oh, Frank, as we said, when Frank joined the program, he had major heart condition, major, like really, really serious heart condition. And so he was getting better. He also did stuff from hospital beds and things. He had a really good spell, and then he's not feeling well today. So that's why Frank isn't here today. But his heart, no pun intended, his heart is here, and I wanted to bring him up because he really embodies the spirit. Yeah, so he's doing okay. He's had to step back from his voiceover career a little bit because of his health problems, but I know that everything that we did, that he was here with us for during the program, was really part of him getting through all the things that he's been going through. So, yeah. But thank you for asking that. Thank you.
And of course, what was the lady's name who's not coming again?
Oh, Cricket Michelle, and they are their pronouns are they, them. Yeah.
They, them. So that means it's non-binary.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I knew that. Anyway, why did you not come anyway?
They aren't feeling well today either. Yeah, they're sick. The crud. So, yeah.
I always wanted to meet Cricket. Too bad I can't see her.
Yeah. Well, them. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Good. Well, thank you for asking about everybody, Kevin. Appreciate that. Yeah.
And Anderson, good to see you again.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's keep on going with questions. Thank you, Kevin.
Right along. Okay, Derek Munson, come on up if you can. I saw your hand there, my friend.
Oh, my hand was regarding that form that you had back there. At the very bottom, it says put done in this field. And then below that, there's another field that it's not clear if you're supposed to put done there as well. So I just want to make sure I'm filling out the form correctly.
I know. I think it wouldn't let us just put text there. So we had to that's why we specify be sure to type done in the text. Maybe we should put this text
in this text box. Yeah, the one directly below. Okay.
Yeah, this one. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get disqualified if you put done here too.
Okay.
If you
No, the second one is not required either.
Yeah,
it just would not let us put the information there without that box. So you're welcome to put done in both, but you're required to put it in the first one.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
That was it. That was my question. Super simple.
Okay.
Yep. Great question.
Great. Very good. Details. It's all about the details. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Lauren Radford, come on up.
Hello.
Hey,
hi, good to see you. No, my question is just simply
if I know you don't need to have health issues to apply, but luckily I have the advantage of having them. And
sorry, you almost made me do a green drink spit shake. That's funny. Okay.
So I wanted to ask, like, if you have health issues that maybe might cause you to not be able to take full advantage of the full M2M course because you're not well enough to do it, or you have fluctuating, would that impact the like eligibility?
That's a really good question. We are pretty, like, when we are blessed to have you being among them, some amazing people that come to join this community, really powerful, great people. So tell us everything that's up, and let's see what we can do. Obviously, we want the scholarship to go to someone who can do as much of it, but maybe we do a partial scholarship, or we do a scholarship for a smaller program or something like that. But if you're the right, if you're a people, and if you're here, you probably are there's some about you that's our people, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But yeah, we are very, one of our values is win-win, win-win. So, like, how do we find situations? So if you're showing up with major medical things and have limitations, the thing of it is, anyone who's showing up with anything that is an obstacle, you're gonna have to get through that obstacle and build your voiceover career. So, the Mystery to Mastery program is very real, hands-on. Like, this is it, babies. This is how much time it takes. This is how much spirit it takes. This is how much devotion it takes. This is how much doing something above and beyond whatever you're doing to keep yourself alive. This is what it takes. And you do that for the full program. And then when you step into the world of what it really takes, you're kind of there. So, everyone who has stuff that they're dealing with, you're going to have to deal with it to make this something that's in your life. Now, the beautiful thing about voiceover is that it is something that you can do from your home, and it is a business that you can figure out how to build a business that goes with your ebbs and flows, and that you can figure out how to do that. And then you can, what the Mystery to Mastery program does is gives you a place where you can build the stamina and know what is required and not do it alone. Again, if you're going through medical stuff, I mentioned I had cancer a couple of years ago. I didn't do that alone. I didn't make it a big public thing at first, but I didn't do it alone. And there's so much that you have to go through when you're going through anything. So to not have to do anything additionally alone, right, is a benefit. So that's what I would say. Share your story, and we'll see how it unfolds. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll also say, Lauren, we have people with like chronic conditions that sometimes pause, like if they need to go, take a break and like, it's not like, we'll be like, no, you're having health issues, ha ha ha, you cannot, no, we're not gonna do that.
Well, and I also think that that's one of the benefits of training in the way we do. Sometimes people come on an initial call and don't know anything about the dojo. I'm like, well, how we work is we meet you where we are, and then we say, let's work together for 12 months and see where we get to. People are like, 12 months? I'm like, yeah, dude, that's how long it takes. But when you make a commitment to a place where you have structure and community and connection for that long, yeah, stuff happens. Stuff happens along the way. You need to figure out how to get through it. And because you have this continuum of like, okay, well, here's where I was. I know it's still there. One of the images that and even in the growing process, right? Even in the growth process, you're like, oh, I was doing something, but I went over here. I'm like, where was I? Where was I in that voiceover thing? When we do it alone, we often just get off in the forest. Like, oh yeah, I was doing something. What was it? Oh yeah, voiceover. Where was I? Took a class 8-week class like 4 years ago. Where is that? Like, but when you're part of the program, you have this structure that's in place. So all you have to do when you're like, oh, I don't know where I am, is just like find the railing. Okay, there's people here to help you. Like, okay, so we're here. Gotcha. Okay, keep on going, right? But that's when you have something that has a structure and a way that you're finding your path. I'm not saying a path that everybody goes down the path. You're a place for you to find your path. Then even if you get off track, there's some place to come back and get on track again. Right? So, yeah. Good. What else? These are great questions.
Okay. Yeah, to reiterate, nothing goes in the bottom box. That's what the next question was about. Nothing. Okay. Evan, come on up, friend.
Hello. How much do your future goals play into or play a factor in the scholarship? For it.
I mean, I would say the more clear you are about what you want and why you want it and what it means to you, that lets me know what your relationship with voiceover is. I don't care what you do with this. Like, so I super don't care what you do with this. It's fantastic when it all works out, like, everything. But so I think that's for you to articulate. And if you're at the more beginning of your journey, I think the more you can say what this means to you, why you want it, what's your vision. If you're able to articulate that, then that's part of me understanding what you understand about yourself. But, and then, we're pretty bunch of do-gooders here. So, if you have something that is about making the world a better place, that's probably positive. I'm going to pocket all the money on Coke and whores. Like, well, okay, I guess that's keeping the economy. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily put that in there, but, share what you're here to do. And the more specific you are with yourself, then there's that vision that even whatever happens with the scholarship, if you take this opportunity to explore who you are, why you're doing this, and why you want this, what you want and why you want it, if we never see each other again, you'll be that much ahead of the game. And I know we will because you're part of the program. But but yeah, that's a great, interesting question. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Who's next?
Evan,
Who's next?
You had a really great first question too. Do you remember it? I can read it if not.
Yes, I do. Can you apply for the scholarship if you are already taking M2M?
Sarah, I think if you are already, you might be able to apply for some sort of upgrade. But if you're already on scholarship or in the program, then you probably wouldn't be in highest consideration unless you are in a program and want to upgrade.
Okay.
But Sarah, can you clarify where we're at with that?
Yeah, sorry, I was frozen for a moment. Technically, yes, you can apply for it. We would have to look at where you are, and ideally the scholarship, like what Tony got, was the full middleweight M2M program from start to finish. Cricket was already at a higher, or not, further along in their career, so they got 3 months of the end of M2M and then part of our nth degree, which is our working for pro division. So that might be something that would be considered. It
Oh, right.
I'm not saying no, but I don't, like, it really depends on the applicant. And as I said, I don't go in looking for something specific, but yes, as a current nth client, or as a current dojo client, you can still apply for the scholarship.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm going to turn my fan on here because I'm getting hot in my little box.
Okay, wonderful. On to the next question. Joshua Quinn.
Hi. I think my question might tag on to that last one. I was just going to ask, doesn't matter where you're at in your journey to apply, but it sounds like if, you're building momentum and trying to keep that momentum versus, being brand new, it sounds like you have options for both.
Yes, absolutely. It's a little bit like, I love that Anderson shared his story because he came in and we could have said, okay, let's go forward from here. And he's like, I want to start from here. And we've had a lot of people do that. And even when we have people come into the nth degree to just do nth degree, like people who are working pros, we have them take the You Should Do voiceover launchpad and workouts so that we have a foundation that we're working on, and then we're able to hit the ground running. So basically we meet you where you are. So let us know where you're at the journey. What are the things that have been stopping you? What are the things that you're moving forward with? And it's the beautiful thing about the dojo is that it really is here to support you all the way. And Working Pro just keeps on going, right? This river, this river from I don't know to Working Pro, it just keeps on going, right? There's stuff I'm working on right now. I just got my political demo done, and I'm, so there's a whole new realm that I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, is that helpful, Joshua?
That is very helpful. Thank you so much.
And then let me just note, Joshua, I see that you're showing up for a lot of things. That's cool. Joshua's been here a lot, so that's good. Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
To clarify one thing, the main scholarship that we are giving away, the original Daniel Escobar Scholarship, is that 1 year of the middleweight Mystery to Mastery program. We discovered last year with Cricket and with other people, like Cricket really opened up our eyes to this because I don't think we thought about it before, that there are people at different stages of their journey. So I was asked last week in one of our meetings, are we doing that again? And my answer is, well, we're not saying we're not doing it.
Right.
So if someone comes along, like officially, the official Daniel Escobar Scholarship is that 1 year long program. But if the right person applies and comes along, we are open to doing the Working Pro Scholarship as well.
And then, we do get to meet a lot of cool people, and we do take partial scholarships into consideration for the right people as well. So, yeah. But that's kind of as we meet the people that, yeah. So, cool. What's next?
All right, wonderful. Tim, come on up. What is your question if you're available?
Tim. Is Tim on page 2? Look at this, page 2. Fancy.
I think Tim is on page not here. So Tim asks, what is the link to the application? I will drop that into the chat again. I'll also, for our YouTube friends, I will put that in the description for your accessibility.
Cool. And we also understand that if you're here for an hour in the middle of the day, sometimes you can't stay for the whole call. So that's cool, Tim. You're all good.
Yeah, no problem.
What's next?
Steve Ward, come on up. You had a few questions.
Yeah, I do. I might go backwards just because since that one is fresh on the mind. I just wanted to add just this part to the Josh and other question. Is there then a preference to Sarah, Tish, Kelsey? Is there then a preference to those who are beginning their journey? Or like, is there a ceiling? Well, not you're too advanced, or you've been doing this.
Well, I think it's really like, if you're advanced, what's been keeping you from, like, if you're advanced, what's going on that you're not where you want to be? Right? What's going on?
Yeah.
Because we get to a place, and like I said, there's a lot of people, the way that things are structured now, that you're hustling on your own and you're doing the thing, but what's happening? Because maybe you haven't had this place to put it all together, or maybe you're trying to put it all together by yourself and you don't know what the thing is. So so yeah, where are you at? Where do you want to be? What's keeping you?
Where you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What?
And then
Yeah.
the other two is if we do choose to be off camera, can we just record from our DAW and
Yeah. Just make sure it doesn't sound like poo.
okay.
Yeah.
Just make sure Vouch accepts it. You have to use the Vouch software to submit it, and I
Oh,
know
okay. So
it
it's
can
not like
be.
a separate and then you do the
No,
MP3.
it's not
Okay,
something
okay,
where you
okay, okay.
upload it. I I have only tested it using. I used my phone when I did it. I've only tested it using on camera, but I know that there's the option to turn the camera off.
Okay.
Um, so
Yeah.
it's
Absolutely.
possible you could like do a practice run on DAW and then see if it lets you upload. I just don't know off the top of my head if it does in fact allow you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Last super short question is there a date when the recipients will be announced?
The goal is that they will be announced the week of August 17th.
Okay.
It depends on how many finalists we come down to. And because once we narrow down our finalists, Tish does one-on-one interviews with them. So it depends on how long that process takes. But ideally, the week of August 17th. Definitely before the end of August, though.
Okay.
The idea. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So then, is it safe to say that there's literally just one winner, and then potentially the other one?
Yeah. Potentially the other one. Potentially the other partials.
Exactly.
Depending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, yeah. We are generous. We are generous, and we love you all. And
Reasonable at the same time.
Yeah, but right now the scholarship is one program, one program. Yeah, that's it. And then a question for you, Steve, is if you're planning not to do your visual, why? But it's your choice. But
No,
I would say,
you know what it is? It's just because I think I've tried it before, and it just for some silly reason only lets me use my camera microphone versus the microphone that we pay money to. You know what I mean? Like, I
oh
know.
well, if you've done Vouch before, and here's something great, guys, and this is so like, if you leave this call and never see us again in your lives, if you're doing something and have a question, ask somebody rather than letting it stop you, right? Yeah. So in this particular thing, yeah, just feel free to reach out and contact. We can put who to contact, either Sarah or
maybe
Alex,
it's different now, but I was just worried about the audio quality not being what
I'm
we're.
not worried about the audio
Oh,
quality,
okay,
just
okay.
so
Yeah,
you're aware, because a lot of
we're not
people.
judging your booth. We
Oh,
we want to make sure we're not. Yeah, we don't care about your booth at this point. We care about
Okay.
your soul.
Okay,
We
thank
care
you.
Yeah,
about your
no,
soul.
that's honestly what we're listening for. The story, like
Awesome.
the passion sounds really cheesy, but I mean, if you're passionate about, Tony. I remember Tony and Cricket very well. I remember watching their videos. Tony's passion was there in his video. And I know he was on camera. I have photographic memory, so it's crazy. Like I remember where I was sitting and where people were when moments happen. Um, but I could hear it in his voice. I don't know if he was in his booth. I don't know where he recorded it, but it didn't matter. The passion for both Tony and Cricket was there last year. And that was what I resonated with. And that is why they moved on to the Tish has to hear this one pile that I have.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, what
All
are the
right.
questions?
Adrian, if you could come up off mic and speak your question to the room.
Hi. So I think it was already answered, but my question was, when was the deadline for the application submission? And I looked and saw Evan answered, and also I saw it was on a big banner on the top of the screen that was first. So that was my question. It got answered.
That girl, read the emails.
Read the instructions. Yes.
Good. No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
good. Ask the questions and
but
read the emails. Yeah.
it's a great question, because we also have our YouTube viewers that are going to watch this who couldn't come live. So the application deadline is August 1st.
Mm-hmm.
August 1st.
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa, you've been holding your hand up for a while.
Yay! Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, it's really tired too. The question is, okay, so you're announcing it the 17th of August. Now, do you have to do the sessions right after that? Because I have an out-of-state trip in September if that were to happen. So, or is it just kind of flexible when?
I mean, I think if you can't start in September, you can start in October. But like you would want it. It is a scholarship for this year, so we wouldn't be
Right.
like, put it off. But yeah, if the Mystery to Mastery program is a commitment and does require that you're able to show up for everything. So yeah, if there's something happening, so either we can look at it like unless you're going, into the depths of the jungle and you will be offline, or you're doing something that is just completely like you will not be able to do anything else. We can figure out either starting in October or, we can figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay,
What else?
so Dyron popped off, but Dyron asks, will this meeting be available to review later? If so, how can I access it? I have great news for you. It's going to be on YouTube. Next week it'll be up. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jeff, come on up. That's our next questioner.
Sure.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
Thank you. My question is, does it really matter where you're located in the world, and will it have an impact if the time zone differences are too great? As an example, I live in Denmark, and right now it's almost 8:30 p.m.
Yes, this is a thing, and Lauren also is in the Netherlands, so you guys should meet. But first of all, yes and no. I know one of the things Lauren's involved in. One of the things that we do that allows us, but we have to figure out other timing. The good news is, for everyone in other time zones, particularly European time zones, is one of our senseis is moving to Rome next in the fall. So I think that's going to afford us having some scheduling that might allow for some more European friendly things. And we'll keep on figuring that out, but that's a super. And part of our vision for the dojo is to be truly an international resource, because we can do this from anywhere. So maybe everyone doesn't want to be in Burbank all the time. But yeah, so I would say don't worry about that so much. Be here, and then we can figure out all the other stuff. But it is a concern. Like right now, it is a lot of the Mystery to Mastery stuff does happen in the evenings, Pacific time, which makes it you have to be fairly ambitious in CET. But we are figuring out how to expand that. So.
Okay,
yeah.
Then a very quick follow-up question to that. If that is not something that has already been put in place for this round of everything, on what days, is it weekdays or weekends that these sessions will be? Because
that's a good.
It wouldn't be that much of a problem.
Yeah. Here's how. So there's seven elements to the Mystery to Mastery program. A combination of small group workouts in different modalities, work that you'll be doing on your own in the curriculum of your belt level, times when we get together, all the belt level, sometimes just the people at your belt level. There's audition conditioning that Fabian was talking about that you do on your own and you get feedback from a sensei. There's fight clubs. So there's there's sort of different times for everything. Tuesday is a day that the core workouts happen. We have at least four times now. So it can be early in the morning Pacific time, afternoon or evening Pacific time. So we have some variability on Tuesdays. That's why Lauren's part of that program, because she can come in the mornings, and it's not egregiously late there. And then Wednesday evenings, there's often things. Fight clubs happen on Thursday evenings and Tuesday evenings. So it kind of varies. The thing that I say about the dojo, and this is a great thing as we're kind of wrapping up, the thing I say about the dojo is, look, it's an intense program created by an intense person for intense people who have intense lives and are endeavoring to add another intense pursuit. Does that make you smile? Well, come on, let's go. And because of that, being that person myself, I always hate, like, I can't do it. It's on Wednesday. I got something else that I'm living my intense life. I can't do it, right? So we try to create things that are flexible, that if you can't come this time, how about this time or this time? And not all of that is possible, but we try to create we create intensity with some flexibility, right? So because we're all weaving voiceover into the rich tapestry of our gorgeous life, eventually getting it so that only voiceover is the things that's going through the weft. So yeah, that's kind of how the whole program. And if you're a business person looking at how we run things, they'd go, what the fucking fuck? Like, what is this? But we know the clients, we know our community, we know who you are and what is required. So we try and do it so that we create the opportunity that you can have that focus and intensity and the flexibility to allow your life that you're living now to be incorporated, to voiceover to be incorporated into that life and then transform into the life that you want it to be. That's the way. Yeah. Cool. We got time for a couple more. Are there many more questions? We can
That was actually
answer.
the last of it.
Oh, nicely done, guys.
Questions for
nicely
our
done.
Previous applicants.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for Anderson or Fabian or Tony? Now that you know a little bit more about stuff. Anything you'd want to ask?
Joshua.
Go ahead, Joshua. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious what each of your favorite parts of the process has been, or if it keeps evolving each time.
I would say my favorite part of the process is just being in the community. That was something that was always missing outside of this program. You can interact and do so much on your own, but without being a part of the community, you really do kind of miss out on some of the bonds that you actually need to keep going. So that's my favorite part.
Fabian Anderson?
My favorite part of the process probably had to be the summer of 2022, and it was actually before I got the scholarship. It was just at that point you're doing it for the love of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I was really we were just in it. I was excited to be back in it. The core classes were fantastic. And as said previously, the community was really, really great. But I was happy to be finally back in the thing that I love the most. I really was just enjoying that time of being in it, and that was the part that really just sort of, the beginnings of things are just so beautiful. It's just a different feeling. It doesn't compare. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Cool.
I think for me, my favorite part of the process was the mindset. Anything that just focused on like the mindset of like voiceover and being an entrepreneur and like getting into this industry. Because as I mentioned before, I got into voiceover when I was 21. And so at that time, I thought I could, rule the world, like as most, I think, college kids think. But there was a lack of focus. There was a lack of like mindset, where I wanted to do everything and kind of just ended up halfway doing everything. And so joining the dojo and getting the partial scholarship and just being like, oh, we can start you as like a brown belt or a blue belt. I was like, no, I think I want to start like right after white, maybe like right as yellow, because there were, even though I had done so much at that point, there was things like networking and making other voice acting friends and like understanding really how to approach a script instead of me just taking things that I had learned from like my on-camera and theater experience. And even being an entrepreneur, I didn't know what it meant to run a business. I didn't go to business school, so everything was just coming from a place where I really didn't know as much about the world that I thought I did. And so there were just so many little nuggets every class that I went to where, like, I don't know, like a lot of people talk about like their frontal cortex forming at 25, but I feel like at 22 or 23, I was like, oh my God, like there's so much that I thought I understood that I don't. And there's just so much that I'm grateful for because of that.
Yeah. I think that's one of my favorite. There's so many things that are my favorite part of the dojo, but one of my favorite parts is that we really do bring a community together that are people who are just out of college. My son just graduated last year, and he's in the program now. He's 24, and we have Miss Adrienne and TJ, and Miss Adrienne is she's 80 years old, and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it because and she's inspiration, but there's something really powerful about looking at this as a life journey, and everybody and people who are older, I'm like, what is that thing you do in the Discord, Anderson? Oh yes, like there's stuff that's like we're like, okay, I don't know what that is, but we need to know it as older people, and then there's younger people who can go like, okay, and here we're friends and colleagues with people who are much older than us, who have much bigger experience or more experience in life with us, and we're all just part of it. And it's something that you can do when you're 21, and it's something you can do when you're 81, and that's amazing. That's an amazing thing. So that I love that part. So yeah, cool. All right. Any other questions for our recipients or our team? All right. So show up. We're excited that you're here. Keep on showing up. We have Ask the Sensei on the first Wednesday of every month at 10 Pacific time. I invite a colleague to join, a voiceover colleague to join me, and we answer your questions. We have Get to Know VO on the third Wednesday of every month. What is next? I don't even remember what next month is, but it's something good. We have fight clubs 3 times a month, maybe a little less over the summer. But if you're not a working pro demo rep and booking, you can be a spectator. You can buy a spectator spot. And supremely encourage you, if this interests you at all, if this is something you want to start, join the summer classes for You Should Do Voiceover. Don't wait to see if you get a scholarship, because if you are in a mindset that I'm waiting for someone to give me this, that's not the mindset to get the scholarship. Comprende? If you were in the mindset that this is I really like what is happening here, I would like to be a part of that, I do not have $597 right now, then we have payment programs, and figure out, not to be like snotty about it, but this is running a business, and you're investing in your business, and you're going to need money to do it, and you're going to need to figure it out. And I know you're so smart and so pretty and so smart, and you love this, and you will figure it out. So that's the mindset. That's the heart set. Not like, oh man, I don't have that. I can't do it. I don't have it right now. How can I do it? What will I do to get the Be creative. Anderson's talking about mindset, about business. Sometimes I think business and creativity get separated in this society. Like, oh, well, I'm creative, so I don't know anything about business, or I'm business, so I'm not creative. This requires this, and business is creativity, and figuring out how to fund things is creativity, and y'all are so smart and so pretty and so smart. Going back to Tony's first rule of the dojo, know what you want, ask for it, people will give it to you if you allow. Start knowing what you want, start asking for it, and figuring out how to do it. That's the kind of thing, that's the kind of chutzpah that we're looking for. Fabian was living in his car. Fabian was gifted a first taste of it, and Fabian was like, I'm freaking driving. I'm driving to get that money, Sensei, and every month you did it. And I was like, okay, here's somebody who's ready. Here's someone who's doing it. Let's do it, right? That's the people who are like, oh, I didn't get a scholarship. I can't do it. Like, I'm super not interested. Super not interested, because if that's where you are at the beginning of the journey, this is not the journey for you. Because what this journey requires is seeing it, being it, doing it, and then keeping on building it so that you can build the life that you want and it doesn't overtake you. And it's not easy, but it doesn't have to be hard. And there's a reason this is called the dojo and not the flower shop. Right? You got to be a freaking warrior of the freaking light to do this work. And it's joyous, and you find out everything about yourself, and you find out what you can bring to the world. But it's stepping into the ring and stepping up to do the work. If you want to, go watch the movie $1 Million Baby and think about that. Think about what she does and how that goes. Spoiler alert, but nobody dies in voiceover. But what is in that movie, not necessarily the breaking down mentally, it's more the building up. But go watch that movie and see what you're doing to do what you need to do to become your own $1 Million Baby. Yeah. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is an interesting little dilemma and an interesting little ethical ethical dilemma for you, but also will show your dojo spirit. If this is inspiring to you and you know somebody else who should know about this, tell them, because that's the spirit of the dojo, right? Like, I'm not going to tell anybody because then they might get the scholarship and I won't. That'll lessen my chances. No, really, the more that you're spreading the word. The other thing is that scholarship or no scholarship, we also have a referral program that anyone that you refer to that signs up for classes, you can get dojo credits. So it's always to your benefit to think win-win-win-win for everybody and spread the word. So do feel free to share it. And if you're part of other communities where things like this, free things that are good for everybody, you can share it there. Please do. So, all right, friends. Thank you for the extra time. And Sarah and Kelsey, thank you for being here. And Anderson and Fabian and Tony, thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for being part of this amazing thing we call the dojo. Thank you for embodying the spirit of Daniel and the spirit of this scholarship that we are so joyously and honored to offer. So, thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.